You're listening to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. How we doing? How we doing this morning? You know, it's WNBA kickoff, and Catlin Clark's going to kick off tonight. You've got the Indiana Fever. Going to go into a sellout crowd with the Connecticut Sun. Now, before the season even gets started, you got Christie sides, and man, oh man, oh man. You know, you could have some comments, and they could take them the wrong way and take you right on out. I want you to take a listen to what Christie had to say, and they're not too happy about it, but take a listen.
She's open in that long two area, and we've got to get her comfortable taking that long two. She's going to get looks. She's going to get open looks. She's got to figure out, like I gave her a rule the other day, she's got 0.5 seconds to make a decision. When she gets off the ball and she hits one of our high posts and somebody in the high post, she has a habit of hanging out and dancing. That's what she's done. It's these habits that we've got to break. She's got players around her now that she can get out, she can go screen, and the ball's going to get back to her.
And folks, that's what we're talking about there. And here's the deal with that. When you got Christie who's doing that, okay, and the WNBA and how the fans, they're calling for her to be fired. And they don't even want her around. Now, here's the deal with this. Nobody's going to mess with the golden goose. That's just the flat way that the game is played now with, you're talking about the WNBA and WNBA, the NBA just put some more money in the league, $50 million to do chartered flights. So, folks, this is not a game that's going to be played, and nobody is going to mess with the golden goose. And I'm just here to tell you that, because at the end of the day, they're not going to change for anybody that's coming into this league right now, and you got Catlin Clark. Now, you think that this is going to be something that they're going to forget? I don't think so. And when you get the golden goose, Catlin Clark, outstanding player, changing the whole WNBA outlook. Listen to Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, what they got plans and what's in place. Nobody's going to touch the golden goose, okay? And that is official. So Christie sides, what does Money Mike see? I see a divorce coming. I see something that's going to get shut down right away. And I know right now the WNBA wants no criticism. They don't want anything, and they don't want any mention of bad habit. Speaking about Catlin Clark, that's impossible. You cannot do that. And if you know you can't do it, then you've got to accept it, and you got to move right forward to it, because at the end of the day, Catlin Clark is the WNBA right now, but there's a lot of WNBA talent that's coming on in. It's going to be headed her way, and that's okay. That's not a problem as far as with the WNBA and how they're doing things. Here's the problem is when you start getting ahead of yourself and you start believing that you can do something nobody else can do. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It's not a secret now. It's already come out. And when you talk about this and you look at it, people have to understand that, guess what, folks? Lisa Bluder has retired, okay? All of a sudden, she's retired and is no longer the head coach over at Iowa. Okay, it could be one or two things that could have taken place. Is one, she wants to, after 24 years of leading the Iowa Hawkeyes, decide, hey, you know what? I want to get on the road and I want to follow Catlin Clark and I want to enjoy her success. It's like a mother-daughter relationship. And I could be off there a little bit, but I know they're pretty close and the communication is very good. Now, all of a sudden, she retires, and we've got to ask ourselves, okay, because these two have a very, very close relationship, folks. A very, very close relationship. And if anybody, I told you from the beginning, when the Indiana Fever, when they drafted, okay, Catlin Clark, I asked, was Red Auerbach coming back? Okay, because I knew when Larry Bird was drafted out of French Lick, Indiana, and they brought him into Boston. Okay, they had to go make some trades. They went out to the Warriors. They fleeced the Warriors. They got Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale. They had to go out and get Danny Ainge. They had to go out and get Dennis Johnson. So when you look at what Catlin Clark is, where the Fever are ranked, 9th or 10th, They came out, CBS Reports came out with a story that lists the top 25 WNBA players. Caitlin Clark wasn't even mentioned in the list. That's a slap in the face again. So what you got here is these two are very, very close. They enjoy what each other does. They have fun on the court, and it is nothing but hugs, smiles, and good times. Now, what does that mean, or what am I saying? Folks, I believe there's going to be a divorce. I believe there's going to be a train wreck. Unfortunately for Christie Sides, the immediate press conference, bad habits, you trying to change Angel Reese. Nobody wants Angel Reese to change, period. They want her to keep playing her game. And no one wants to get her out there, get her confused because she's come to the WNBA. And it happens. Sometimes coaches get ahead of themselves. They believe in what they do. But in this case, there is no belief going to come out of this, because when you get to Lisa Bluder, Catlin Clark, what they have done, what they have accomplished, nobody's going to touch that. And that's the way it is. So miraculously, Lisa Bluder retired. She's no longer going to be the head coach of Iowa women's basketball, which leaves a vacancy because the Fever fans are upset. And if that means the Fever fans are upset, and that's the origination almost of basketball, folks, when you talk about Indiana. I mean, that's the top of the line. And in the Midwest, they take their basketball seriously. In the Midwest, the women's basketball is extremely strong. They come out with talent every year. So as I wrap this up to you, what am I saying? This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio podcast, and Lisa Bluder is actually retiring after 24 years. The other question is, you have Christie Sides, the head coach, okay, who is a head coach over there at the Indiana Fever, says Caitlin Clark has bad habits. Well, the train wreck or the divorce, it started. They've already come off the tracks. Now, whether Christie Sides can put them back on the tracks, I don't think that's possible, because every loss or everything that happens, it will not be blamed on Caitlin Clark and Christie Sides. And this is something that happens when you do have superstar players. Take a look at LeBron James. Hard to coach LeBron James. Hard to coach him. A lot of coaches been fired. Now, I'm not saying a lot of coaches will be fired with Caitlin Clark, because if Lisa Bluder takes the job, then they're going to have success and they're going to put that offense in. It works best for Caitlin Clark. This is all going to work. It's corporate enterprise business. And we are telling you in advance that the WNBA is going to tip off tonight. The Indiana Fever, they have the Connecticut Sun. And that was going to tip off 4 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm going to have my eyes glued on that, but I'm going to have my eyes glued to the rest of the WNBA. So we want to tell you, all things are possible to those who believe. We're going to get better and better so that you can go higher and higher, and we look forward to it. So we'll see you soon. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio podcast, and we are powered up by Fanatics.